Hello, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger. Once again, I'm back, and welcome back to Marvel vs. DC month. Yeah, I finally come back. I took a long break because I had some problems at home, but we're gonna continue. Now we have Marvel's TV shows. These are two cartoons going up against each other. We have Marvel Rising versus DC Superhero Girls. Yeah, the 2019 version of DC Superhero Girls, not the original version that came out that was hand drawn. The one where it's a parody, where they make jokes. It's kind of like Teen Titans Go, except better. It's got actual jokes, not just stupid related humor. Now, the cast of characters, yeah. In this case, I prefer the DC Superhero Girls without a doubt because the cast of characters in Marvel's Rising, they're all girls too, but they're not as interesting. You have Captain Marvel, who's underused in the show. You have Squirrel Girl, who's really just cute, but that's about it. You have Miss Marvel, who I do like, but we're going to see her in the MCU in a Disney Plus show in about a year or so, or maybe at the end of this year. You have some Spanish chick with a jacket, who I don't even remember. You have Gwen Stacy, Spider Gwen, but in this version, she's just kind of there. She didn't really exist for me. I don't know what it was. It just I didn't really care for the characters as much. You also had Chloe Bennett as Quake, aka Daisy Johnson from Agents of Shield, but in animation she just doesn't work. It just feels like blah. You also had Patriot and Inferno and a bunch of other characters, and I'm like, yeah, they're not as memorable. In DC Superhero Girls, you have My Girl, Supergirl, you have Batgirl, you have Wonder Woman, you have Green Lanterns, Jessica Cruz, you have Bumblebee, and you have this girl, what's her face, Zatanna. So yeah, the cast of characters are better in DC. So 1 point for DC. Next is the writing. Yeah, in DC Marvel Rising, my problem is that the writing feels like just kind of blah, like it's a Diet Avengers with girls, and I'm like, that's not what I wanted. With Marvel, with these characters, I want more epicness. I want to see them do more, not just talking and you know just something they're interesting. At least with DC Superhero Girls, they go around fighting crime. They hang out and talk to each other, but it's not boring. They meet boys, so the show's not sexist. Marvel, I felt like they did this show only just to cater to little girls. And I'm like, I'm not a little girl, guys. I'm grown. I'm a grown ass man, and I would like to see my DC, my female characters be interesting, not just you know they're not freaking brats or the My Little Pony. So again, DC gets it again this time because when it comes to plus the show's funny. It has a sense of humor. The girls actually make me laugh. The voice actresses are spot on. I forgot to mention that in the casting, but I don't remember most of the cast that did the voices in Marvel Rising. I just think it's kind of weak. They're big name Disney Channel stars like Gwen, like Dove Cameron and this girl, and I'm like, eh, because in DC Superhero Girls you have Tara Strong and Grade Leslie and what's her face, Kimberly Brooks and a bunch of others, and they're very talented, very cute, and very colorful. So I prefer them. The action, well, Marvel definitely does this one better because even though Marvel Rising didn't have as much action as Avengers or Guardians or the Spider-Man cartoons, at least I can remember some of the action. In DC Superhero Girls, there's some action, but it's mostly a comedy first and foremost. So they mostly like riff on each other and make jokes. But it's not like Teen Titans Go where they're just sitting on their asses and talking about stupid things. Here, yeah, they talk about things and but it works. The writing is definitely stronger in that show. But the action, I don't really remember it too much, except for like the crossovers with the DC superhero guys like the Flash and the other Green Lantern and the Arrow and all that. Yeah, that one I remember. But mostly DC superhero girls, the action is not as much. But that's about it. Special effects and visuals. Well, there's no special effects; it's animation. But the visuals, I like DC superhero girls more because with that, you have they put these large expressive eyes and they move the way they move and the animation. It's really cute and With the Rising, I'm like, it's just a female Avengers, and I'm like, I wanted more than that. That's why it didn't last very long. The show lasted about a year and was forgotten. DC Superhero Girls is still going strong because it's funnier and more memorable. And I remember what it looks like. I can picture it in my head. With Rising, I haven't seen it in years, and even my mom was like, it's just there." Like I said, it's not that they're female and they're not interesting, but in the MCU, a lot of females are interesting. You know, Mantis and Black Widow and freaking Scarlet Witch and what was it, Wasp? Yeah, there's a lot of females I like, but in this cartoon, they're just there. Maybe that'll change if they make them into live action, because She Hulk and Miss Marvel and Katie Bishop, who's not in the cartoon, by the way, who was wasted. They should have put her in the cartoon instead of some random Spanish girl with a jacket. I have no idea who she is. But yeah, the visuals, I give that to DC. So overall, which show is better? What do you think? Which one is better? DC Superhero Girls. DC wins this one easily because I remember the characters more. I'm more entertained. I'm laughing my ass off with the girls because they really have a lot of chemistry. I forgot that the voice of Supergirl is Nicole Sullivan, who did the voice of She-Go in Kim Possible. And overall, yeah, like Marvel Rising, I'm just like, it's a one watch, but if you've seen it once, you don't need to see it again. It doesn't have rewatchability. With the DC Superhero Girl, this time, yeah, DC knows how to make they flesh out these female characters and make them interesting and funny and have personalities. And also, like I said, I remember them. Every single one of them. The only character I hate in DC Superhero Girl isn't even one of the heroes. It's Harley Quinn. You know why? And no, it's not voiced by Margot Robbie. It's Tara Strong doing two roles. I don't like the design. I don't like her voice, and she's always in my face, which I don't like that. That's the only thing in that show that drives me nuts. I'm like, every time Harley's there, I'm like, you're annoying. Get out of my face, you hot topic version of the 1990s cartoon, the 1992 animated series. That was a better Harley. She wasn't annoying, and she had a cute voice, and she was memorable in red and black, not this blue and yellow, blue pink, or whatever the hell bisexual version. That's not for me. I mean, in this cartoon, she's not because it's for kids. I mean, both cartoons are for kids, but she just annoys me. That's the one aspect that doesn't work. In Rising, there's no one annoying, but I don't remember these characters as much. I love Captain Marvel, but she's a cameo. She should be the leader of the Marvel Rising, not a cameo. Hopefully, Marvel gives her more to do in the future, Captain Marvel, because you know how I feel about her. I love the movie. I loved her in Endgame with what little screen time she had, and I want to see her sequel. I even like Monica, who's supposed to be the next Captain Marvel after Brie. After people want to bully Brie out, I'm like, I'm sorry, guys, she's not going anywhere. Just because Marvel Rising failed, that wasn't Brie's fault or the animators. It was just writing that was kind of unmemorable. But with Brie, she's not going anywhere. The girl that's playing Monica's not going anywhere either. They earned their spot. The females in most of these, in either Marvel or DC, when they earn their spot, they earn their spot. And in this cartoon, in DC Superhero Girls, they definitely earned their spot. They made a cartoon that was kind of like, a girlier version of like Teen Titans or Young Justice or whatever in a school. But in this version, they made more of a parody, but it's a funny parody. It's not freaking toilet humor like Teen Titans Go or stupid things where they're talking about pizza or tacos or whatever. Yeah, it has a plot. That's why that's why overall it wins. Thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.